Hi everyone, my name is Elvis Abenga, yet again here before you to introduce you to legal concepts and how they can apply to your life. Today we're going to talk about something very interesting, and that is the concept of a trust and how it can apply to your life as an individual. Many people hear about trusts and think about, well, big organizations, foundations, non-governmental organizations, and wonder whether these can actually apply to the ordinary day-to-day life of an ordinary human being. I'll tell you something. A trust is one of the most powerful ways of owning property in Kenya, only that not many people know about it and how it works out. I'll talk today in the context of children and what a trust can do to your children. Many people want to leave legacies for their children. You want to leave something that your children can hold on to. Property, a house, maybe land somewhere, maybe some funds somewhere, but you cannot give them right now because they're children and they cannot hold property absolutely on their own name as minors. What do? You register a trust. A trust creates a legal relationship between two entities. On the one hand, you have trustees. On the other hand, you have beneficiaries. And this relationship is usually with regard to a specific subject called the subject of the trust, be it property, be it whatever it is you're making the trust for. So once you create a trust for your children, you yourself or your husband and yourself or your wife and yourself, the parents, become trustees for the child or children become beneficiaries, and the subject becomes the property you would want to be transferred to your children upon the age of majority. Now, trusts are different types. We have charitable trust. For a trust to be a charitable trust, it needs to be for charitable purposes in addition to, for instance, holding property. And charitable purposes could be purposes that are generally beneficial to the well-being of the public. Charitable trusts are usually beneficial because they help you be able to stop or get some tax relief and tax advantages in acquisition of property. I'll tell you something. Once you establish this trust, you decide what happens in that trust. You decide the powers that the trust has, if it is acquisition of property, and you also decide how long the trust is. It doesn't necessarily have to be for 18 years. It can be for 20 years, it can be for 30 years, it can be for 40 years, it can be for as long as you decide the trust will last. Now, this document, once it is fully registered, goes through two registration regimes under the Registration of Documents Act and under the Registration of Persons and Societies. And I will tell you one thing. Once all this is done, you buy your property, register it under the trust name. And when the time comes that you've decided the trust will determine, the trust will then end with the property being transferred to the beneficiary's name. Many people, parents, choose the easy way out, or maybe not easy way out, because they decide to do insurance policies, life policies, education policies, but the one thing you don't realize is those policies do not guarantee that at the end of their time of maturity that they will actually benefit the child. If I have a child, I could have a life policy and an education policy that matures after 15 years. 15 years down the line, it matures, I take my money, I walk away. I have nothing, the child has nothing. And I do not have any obligation to transfer that money to the child. But once a trust has been established, then when the 15 years or 20 years have lapsed, then the property will only be transferred to the child and not anyone else. not even ourselves. So that's one advantage of a trust. Secondly, it gives you flexible investment approaches. I can have money today, I put it into the trust. Next month, if I don't have the money, I don't lose the money that I have put, unlike in insurance policies where you have to put a fixed amount of money every month, and when life happens and you do not have enough money, the policy lapses and you lose out on interest and such kinds of stuff. Gives you flexibility. The trust gives you flexibility, gives you control, gives you assurance that when the trust ends, the property will be transferred to your child in addition to the tax reliefs. For more information, please contact us and we will explain to you how you can be able to register a trust for your children and answer any queries that you may have. Till then, until next time, it's Diaries of a Lawyer and Legal Nuggets. Goodbye.